How many vans do we have here? Looks like 6, including mine in El Paso. Hey guys, welcome to another day with Zimaleta. I am currently traveling. As you can see, I'm at a truck stop right now. I'm in El Paso, Texas currently, and this specific video I wanted to actually get back to the Expeditor viewers that I have on my channel. I've been noticing my last Expedite video got over 2,500 views, and you guys have been requesting me to create like another video that's going to be like Expediter related on various different topics. So this current topic will be the topic about actually getting loads for the Expedite, and it's going to be followed by how to actually get into Expediting. In case you're not an Expediter and you want to actually become an Expediter, what is it going to really take for you to become an Expediter, and how like to get fair rates and not to get fooled by many companies, because there will be companies that it's a business and you really can't hold it against them, that will try to take advantage of the drivers by offering you cheaper rates and telling you that's just the way it is, and that's just not true. I've been an Expedite for the past 10 years, and yes, a lot of things have changed. Yes, the prices have fallen, but there's a certain point in the prices that exist, and it just cannot fall below that type of point, because it's just not going to be profitable for the drivers to work, for the Expedite companies to actually give you the loads, and if you drive for less than you're worth, you're just not going to be able to survive very long, and somebody else is going to take your place, and you know, that's it, and they're going to be enjoying the profits. So this video is more like kind of like, I'm not going to share like any like big numbers and stuff like charts and graphs and stuff like that, like I would like to do like in one of my videos like in the future. But this is just kind of like to get you the sense of what you're worth, because we're all worth different price. Some of it will have to be because your worth is based on how much it's actually costing you to run your business, and some worth is going to be maybe you're just a really good driver and your worth is really up there. I would like to think I'm a good driver and stuff like that, but I don't even look to that about myself. I'm thinking about what is my worth, and I drive for that worth. So let's get to it. So basically right now, as I told you guys, I'm in El Paso, Texas, and as you've seen in that little video that I made, there's currently 6 vans and I'm the 7th van here. As you notice, those other 6 vans, they were newer vans. I've talked to some of the drivers back there, and they have like 2016 vans, which I guess they got them last year, and we're not that far into this year. Maybe some of them actually just got like last year's model or whatever, because one driver has like 20,000 miles on his Sprinter. So what am I trying to really say like about this with this type of point? The video that I made before, where you know I'm asking you guys not to drive for 65 cents, because it's really costing you 36 cents to survive in business. What I was really referring that to is, you know, people that really own their vans and they do the service them, van, you know, like on their own vans, and we're talking about like replacing parts, breakdowns, any kind of like that, just how much it really costs you to run your business is going to be like 36 cents. And that is if you average 2,500 miles per week, and you're going to stay consistently working every single week. So if you're working less, those numbers are going to be much higher. So one thing that I want to kind of like point out that really kind of down on me when I was talking to the driver with a 2016 van, he's only got 20,000 miles, but by the time he drives a year, he's gonna have about 150,000 miles, give or take. He's definitely gonna have above 100,000 miles. So I actually asked the driver, I'm like, you know, you bought this new? He's like, yep, I got it new. So I'm thinking I told him, I'm like, you know, so think about if you would be trading this van in at the end of the year. Let's say you want a newer model, or you don't want a hassle of breakdowns because now you don't have no warranty. If you're going to be actually trading the van in, how much money you're really gonna lose? Man, you're gonna lose a ton, because these vans are no longer $40,000. They're in some cases 50,000 and above, and you might be able to be lucky and get the stripped down version, you know, for something 40 or just a little bit above. These vans are getting really expensive. So if you're gonna be trading it in, man, you're gonna lose at least like 15 to 20 grand just trading it in. Then you have to take into account that you're actually making payments every single month, whatever there is, because if you got a van for about 38,000, it's going to be about, they like to rip you off with the interest rate for these vans, because these vans, you use it for expedite, like not like normal use and stuff. So technically what they're gonna look at is that you're gonna put on so many miles, and your van is gonna be like getting breakdowns. So they take that into account, and they give you the biggest rate, even if your taxes, if your credit history is good. And they do that in many cases because they're saying, well, you're gonna be using it for expedite. So I guess one of the tricks is not to tell them you're gonna be using it for expedite, because they figure, look, if you're gonna use it for 1 year, you're gonna put 100 to 150,000 miles on the Sprinter, and if you're gonna stop paying them, well, they're gonna be losing money, because now they got an old van that they can't get their money's worth out of it, and that's it. So they're gonna be losing money. So that was just something to throw out there to really add to the video that I had previous to this. If you guys haven't seen that video, it is still currently advertised on all my videos. I haven't really changed that. I will soon. That's just something to think about. You got a brand new van, you worth more. And I've talked to many different companies before, and I asked them what kind of rates do they give, and they told me it doesn't matter what kind of van you have, new or old, they're going to give you the same price. What does matter is some companies will not take old vans. They want new vans, like 5 years old, or like tops 10 years old van, and I'm basically right at the limit. Of course, it's really important to have a dependable van, so I keep my vans really good, and there's no like leaks or drips, like at the bottom of the engine. They're pretty reliable vans, and actually I found it to be more reliable than some of these newer vans. But that's also because the newer vans they're a lot harder to maintain. There's more sensors in them. There's more where you cannot do the work yourself, and that's why you're losing even more money in service, because you just can't do the work yourself. You need special computers and stuff like that, and they make it complicated like that for a reason. So you're just gonna keep buying like new vans, and you're gonna be afraid of owning like an old one. But I see that it's a good idea to have a 2004 through 2006 if you find a company that could work with you. But guys, do not work for 65 cents. It's not even worth it. I've been getting some bids today, and I stick to my guns. I work for 80 cents, and you're not gonna really find drivers that's not working for higher than that. In some cases, yes, local runs, like something that's like local, yeah, you're gonna get $1 a mile or even more. Sometimes it's just not even based on that. Like, I'll give you like an idea. Some local runs, you might do like 50 miles, get like $200 for that, and you might do like 150 miles, get $300. And that's because also, if you have to kind of think about it. First of all, to get a 150-mile load, you're gonna be driving there for about 80 miles or 40 miles or 50 miles, and then you're gonna have to come back home those 150 miles or more that you're driven. So technically you're driving for about $1 a mile, or give or take. Every situation is different. I'm really sorry about that. I have something I have an issue where I'm recording, and for some reason I got a funny throat feeling. There's another thing I want to touch base to you guys on, is if you get offered cheaper rate, how like not to fall in a trap and actually accept a cheaper rate. Excuse me guys a minute, let me drink something. It's morning, I haven't really drinking that much water, and this is probably why. So excuse me about that. If you guys having coffee, cheers to you guys. So the companies will say to you guys, oh, I got a load to such and such, it's gonna go like to North Carolina or Michigan or Ohio, whatever it's gonna be going, and you're gonna be like 80 cents. And you know what? They look at you like, are you kidding me? Like, why you have such an expensive price? And you're like, no, I'm not kidding you. It's 80 cents. It cost me 36 cents to operate, so I'm only getting like 44 cents. And they're gonna be like trying to beat you down on the price. Well, can you do less? And can you do this and that? And what you really got to ask yourself, look, if you guys driving a brand new van, you really can't say yes to those type of things. And here's why. First of all, it does not guarantee you that they're going to be bidding a load for even less just because you agreed to it. If they guarantee you, show you paperwork, then yeah, make a judgment call and that decision. But chances are every single company, they know what they're worth, because they're all worth different. And why am I saying that? Because some of them work out of their homes, because this business is kind of like easy to start. You could be working straight out of your home. You don't need like nothing special. You could just use an office in your house, or not even have an office if you're not gonna have an office right off, and just basically start it off. Yes, it's gonna take a while to get famous and popular with these companies to really use you, but it will happen. You will still get there. That's how these companies get started. They're expediters one day, and the next day they decided, like, hey, we could be bidding our own freight. Why should we be taking these cheaper rates if we could be getting $1 or more, you know? And that's what happens. Trust me, I thought about this many times. You might be thinking, why am I not doing it? And guys, the only reason I'm not doing it, look, I've been doing this for the past 10 years, but I've been doing other stuff besides that. I've been educating myself in various other things, and I have other dreams and goals. And if that changes, then yeah, I would pursue this. This would be like my second choice. But right now, my first choice is cars. I really like cars. I really like dealing with cars, and you're gonna see more of that on my channel. Different, various type of cars, not only sprinters. And of course, my channel will get some newer type of sprinters. I'm not gonna get into that. Let's talk about the worth of these companies. Some of them will have 10 employees. Some of them will have like 20 employees. You know, and some of them work at their home. So think about it. If they got like 10 employees or 20 employees, first of all, they're working different shifts. You got to be covering 24/7. So during a day shift, they might be having 5 or 6 people working at the same time, and some of them might be working part-time, some of them might be working full-time, you know. And there's 3 different shifts. There's first, second, and third shift. So obviously they're gonna have a lot of employees, a lot of overhead. And then you gotta take into account that you have expenses. I mean, they're gonna have internet, they're gonna have business phones expenses, and they gotta pay everybody. There's a lot of money involved in this thing. So if they could make more money, they will want to actually take more money. So one of the examples actually that I do want to make is I talked to one of the drivers, and he said basically that he was trying to get out of a certain area, and he only did it like one time. And he says, look, can you just get me out of here for 60 cents? And here's what they told him. They're like, look, we'll get you out for 60 cents if you want to get out for 60 cents. But if we're going to get it for $1 and we have like set rates, then we're going to get $1 and we're going to profit on you 40 cents. You're going to get 60 cents. So that was my point exactly, guys, even in the video before, and I want to point this out again. Well, actually, I don't think I've really pointed this out, is that you just don't know what the companies are bidding for. And believe me, I tried asking, and by asking it seems like I'm nosy, but I'm really not trying to be nosy. I just asked the company, I'm like, look, you want me to go lower? How am I gonna know that you're actually bidding a lower price for me? I don't know that. I don't want to know that. You don't have to tell me that, because you know, it's your business, it's not my business. But you're asking me to take a cut. I expect you to take a cut. You know, it's only fair. And if the companies are thinking they got all the overheads, well, they need to think again. We have all the overheads. We actually have to do the work. We got to buy the equipment. We got to service the equipment. We got to pay the expensive insurances and stuff like that just to stay in business. And another thing I wanted to point out to you guys, you know, and this might be an arguable subject, but I've looked into opening a company before. The companies are required to have their own commercial insurance, okay? And basically, if you're bidding under your own authority, under your own MCDOT number, well, then you're basically responsible for the load. And that means you know, the company should be having their own insurance to cover that load. They should be the one that's paying the million liability or whatever the requirement is that they set for themselves, because in some cases it's a lot less expensive because we're vans, we're not trucks. And they should be paying the cargo, whether it's 50,000 or 100,000, and not the driver, because you see, the driver now takes care of their own cost. And of course, if we don't have the buying power, we're buying the insurance for ourselves, and our cost is going to be outrageous. You know, not only due to your driving record, but because you just don't have the buying power. These larger companies, they have the buying power. They could get the insurance for a lot less, divide amongst the drivers, and then you pay for that insurance. And of course, you would have to be with that company working under the insurance, and you're kind of stuck in your own little company. Which gets me to my next point. That's actually the more fair way to do it. And if some of the companies that's watching my video, they're going to agree with me on this factor alone, because what's going to happen is, why was I showing you the 6 vans over here? Did you know, if you probably look it up right now, you're probably going to see that those 6 vans, well, actually 7 vans including me, that would be multiplied, you know, maybe to the multitude of 50 vans being here. And why is that? Well, that's because every guy that I meet out there, they're working for at least one other company. I've met some guys that's working for 20 companies. So if you're that guy that's working for 20 companies, well, there's 20 of you sitting in this parking lot right now, and there's really not. And what's going to happen is a broker will look at a certain area and they might be bidding for a load, so one of the companies could get it, and they're like, there's 50 guys sitting over there when there might be only like 3 guys or 2 guys or whatever, or even like 7. So they're gonna try to get the bottom price, and they're gonna have to bargain with the company, and something's got to give. So that means the companies are gonna be like, see, they can't tell who's here, who's not. They look at the same numbers because the numbers are available. Because all these companies, when they're using like Select Us or some other service, they place us available on the load board that we're available. So when a customer looks at it, they're like, well, there's so many different vans. But if they look closely, you could see some of those VIN numbers that they're placing on there, or whatever that they're using, VIN numbers, phone numbers, truck numbers. Well, for the most, like VIN numbers and years of the vans and stuff like that, you're gonna see that it's the same type of vans. And the biggest answer that I get from these companies, I'm like, why are you guys trying to give these cheaper rates? And they're like, well, that's because the competition is real high. There's just so many drivers out there. And really, guys, in reality, I'll tell you this, guys, I've been working for the past 10 years, okay, on and off, and give or take. I didn't notice any more drivers. All I see is the same old drivers. Yes, there's some new drivers, but there's drivers that quit this all the time because they can't afford to stay in business anymore. And I go to truck stops too all the time, and I look and I talk to drivers, and I see the same amount of vans. As a matter of fact, guys, I'm seeing a lot less vans now than I used to, especially in Michigan. I'm seeing a lot less big name companies out there, a lot more smaller companies, and it's because, again, like bigger companies, they got more overhead, so they're not going to survive as much. Plus they have all they create themselves like so many like different like deductions and stuff for the drivers, which creates an unfairness in itself. And that driver has to find another place to work because he's got to have insurance deductions, satellite deductions. There's just no reason for these satellite deductions. Such an old technology that they're using. They could be tracking you like with a cell phone, and there's many tracking services for the cell phone, and it's pretty much free. Some companies still charge you for that, but it's just pennies considered to what you would be paying for one of those other satellite things. So anyways, guys, that will conclude my video. Thanks for watching. Hit a like. This video obviously got longer than expected. It's about 17 minutes. So in the next video that I would like to actually record is how to actually get into expediting, because that's a subject in its own self, and it might be a very long video because there's just so many points to touch upon. And in that video, I would like to actually take you on the trip with me. If I'm going to create a load, if I'm going to get a load, I'll actually take you with me, and we're going to go to every single company that I'm going to be picking up a load from. We're just going to go to one, and pick up point and the delivery point, what to expect, what to do. So if this is your first day, you have never heard of expediting, you'll be able to actually know what it is about after watching one of my videos. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you. Take care. Good luck. Stay safe out there. And if you guys have any sprinter problems, let me know. Chances are I could help you, and I got many videos on my channel that helps other drivers or owners of the sprinters themselves. And, it's meant to help other people that own sprinters. So in time, I'm going to add more content and more content. Just bear with me, guys, because I'm driving. This year, I'm going to be driving my butt off all over the country. So I'm not going to be creating many repair videos. Yes, I do actually have some videos recorded in advance, but they're going to be videos that I haven't posted, but they're not going to be like something new that I'm doing. And I will try to still make some of those videos, but that's going to be when I'm home and I just squeeze it in and I make that type of video. So anyways, guys, take care. God bless you. Please hit a like and share this video. It's going to help other drivers out there. So if we all stick together, we could work for what we're worth and not for what they tell us we're worth, because in the end of the day, you're the one that's paying your bills. So you better be getting paid what you're worth. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.